Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the third and final part of the X-Files, the Red Shadow's favorite TV shows, the X-Files. This is the number one entry into this series. It's my favorite show of all time, without which, any other shows, they could all fall by the wayside. This is the one that I would have to have. I don't know how much time I'm going to have left to record because my battery's getting close to dying, so I wanted to just briefly explain what the show is all about. That's one thing I haven't really gotten into yet. And then I want to talk about a special thing that I want to do involving the X-Files. The X-Files show is about mainly one agent named Fox Mulder, played by David Duchovny, and his lifelong search for his sister and his search for the truth. Because in searching for his sister, as the son of an FBI man, he enters the FBI himself in hopes to try to figure out what happened to his sister, because he remembers as a boy her being abducted. He believes that he remembers her being abducted by aliens, and of course in the craziness that is this show, it gets interpreted into all different kinds of things over the course of it. But he becomes one of the FBI's top profilers. He puts a lot of bad people away, and once he reaches a certain position in the agency, he is able to go into what was referred to as the X-Files, which was unsolved cases. Why the X-Files instead of the U-Files? Well, because there's so many unsolved cases that the files spilled out of the U's and went into the next letter that had room, which was X. That's the explanation that was put forth in the show. So the X-Files becomes like Fox Mulder's pet project, because he's very intrigued by things like UFOs and aliens, monsters, like Bigfoot, urban legends, like the Jersey Devil, all different kinds of unexplained phenomenon. He'll look into and he'll investigate, and all of it kind of helps to step him towards what is his ultimate goal of finding out what happened to his sister. In getting into that, he discovers this massive conspiracy and cover-up in the government about the existence of aliens, extraterrestrials. And that's the mythology of the show itself, because his sister's disappearance ties into that. I think that's probably about the best way to explain the show. I don't want to leave out Scully, of course. Dana Scully, played by Gillian Anderson, is his partner. This lady is originally assigned to the X-Files and to Mulder to debunk his work, basically to make him look like a fool, because she was a scientist, she's a doctor, she could prove things with fact that he wanted to explain with fantasy and supernatural mythology and whatnot. The fun thing that happens, though, is that she witnesses things that even she can barely explain with her knowledge, and goes along on this epic journey with Mulder. So that's probably a good way to explain it without getting into too much, because for one thing, it's super complicated. There's so many characters all across the board, like the lone gunman that I mentioned before, who brought a nice taste of tech and humor to the show. But there's the cigarette-smoking man, there's A.D. Skinner, there are all these other characters and great stories and things to enjoy in this series, but I think a person really should watch it for themselves. And maybe that seems like a cop-out. I say that on some of my game videos. I don't want to explain too much, because you should experience it for yourself. But honestly, that's how I feel about it. But if you want to learn more about the X-Files, you can stick around to my channel and get some more about the X-Files very, very soon, because I've decided to do a special project and make videos out of it, and it's going to be a long series of videos. I must explain it by recalling something I did on a small gaming web forum, a gaming forum that I was a part of years ago, where I watched an episode of the X-Files, and then I came back to the forum and I wrote up a little piece about the episode I watched. A little bit review, a little bit episode synopsis, a little bit special facts and trivia or whatever about the episodes. And I probably won't be as comprehensive in these video series as I were with those, because those were written. and I sat down and took the time to research and look stuff up. I'll look stuff up with these, but they're just not going to be as comprehensive. I want this to be fun and informative, and I don't want this to be like I'm creating the next X-Files fan website or something like that. I wish that forum still existed so I could link to that so you could read that other stuff, but those forums unfortunately are long gone. That's why I do want something like this to exist on the internet, just so that it's out there. Ha! Could like the truth. Ha! Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, sometime very, very soon, I'm going to crack open Season 1 again. This feels kind of fun and funny, because I recently was in like Season 3 or 4 of a full watch through, and then I hesitated, I stopped, and I didn't watch anything for months. And now I'm going to be starting over again, but it's for a good cause, because this is really going to be a blast for me. Anytime I can watch the X-Files is awesome. I'm going to watch every episode, whether it's one of the handful that I don't really like, to all of my favorites, and notate them here in video form for everybody. Like, this is what I loved about it, and these were the special guests. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I know there's probably at least one, maybe two of my regular subscribers who will probably be really interested in watching these videos, because I know I have at least a couple. Well, I know I have at least one online friend who's a big X-Files fan. I know I have one real-life friend who I think is interested in the show, so he may be interested in these videos too. Well, that's pretty much about it. Just stay tuned for that soon. I don't know when it'll first start. I have to try to fit watching episodes and making the videos for them in with work, the time when my daughter's over, and my time when I just try to play some games or do other stuff. So there may be pauses in between the videos, and then there may be a day when I get 2 or 3 episodes watched and you get a couple videos. I'm really looking forward to doing this, though. This is a whole lot of fun. This is like my favorite thing ever, the X-Files. So I hope you've enjoyed these couple of videos about this. I will also be doing more episodes of the my favorite TV show series. Not as in-depth as this one, because the X-Files is the highlight. But some of the other favorite shows that I have, I'd like to talk about those. And maybe in the future, I might run through some of those shows in the same way I'm going to do with the X-Files. So, I guess that's about it. I can't think of anything else to say. Thanks a lot for watching. Comment if you've watched the X-Files, favorite episodes, anything you want to talk about. Otherwise, sit back and get ready for the journey through all 201 episodes, I believe it is. If you count the series finale as 2. That's 201 videos about the X-Files I'm going to be doing. That's quite a project. But hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.